that's actually a good accident because you're dissipating all of that energy.
Exactly.
As some of the drivers could discuss it down on pit lane, as we've got Danica Patrick also down on pit lane. And let's go back and show you her view one more time from her on board and how she made it through.
Now she's in the right place. Again, she's on the bottom of the track. This accident originated up high and migrated down. She's very lucky that this car does not come down in front of her. Now, there's nothing, this is seen in slow motion, there's nothing you can do or in the car. You make one decision, and at those speeds, you have to stick to it. You cannot weave at 220 miles an hour up the track and down the track.
Rick DeBrule is with her.
Yeah, standing by with Danica, you saw how close that was, and they were just talking in the booth about how you almost don't have time to react.
You know, I was really nervous coming into today, and why is because I knew that you were going to, as a driver, be put into positions to where you were going to have to either decide to be flat out and possibly be a part of something like that, or look like a wimp and lift. But you know what? I lifted a little. I mean, there's just a lot going on out there, and it's way, way, way too early to be, you know, getting runs and not lifting in the middle of the corner. You know, feel out your car, get used to it, see how it changes over the run. I mean, I was running the bottom, I started getting a little bit of push on the bottom, so you just kind of lift a little going into the corner, keep it under control, make an improvement on a pit stop. But I'm sure there was some things that happened that were out of anyone's control, and definitely there were a lot of cars that were in it that shouldn't have been in it. But you know, I mean, the first thing I said was, wow, and then I said, I hope everybody's okay, because it was like a movie scene. It was, you know, which they try and make look as gnarly as possible, and it was debris everywhere across the whole track. There was, you could smell the smoke, you could see the billowing smoke on the back straight from a car. There was a chunk of fire that we were driving around out there, and then you just see cars scattered, and it was, you know, I mean, I hope everyone's okay. I know we haven't maybe heard about Dan, and that's just, you just don't want to have to be in that position, you know. We shouldn't have to.
We had talked to you about the emotions coming into this final race, what it was going to be like for you today. Obviously, this just takes it in a whole different direction.
Well, that's what we were talking about. You know, you have nothing to lose. I have nothing to lose, except I have everything to lose. You know, it's all that sort of emotion wrapped in one, because I want to finish well and I want to do well. I don't want to be in an accident like that. And I know my instincts are decent enough to try and not get a part of that, but it's going to come down to more of that in this race, I think. I mean, it's going to not be quite as bad if there's not so many cars, but hopefully it will just get everyone to straighten up and think, you know what, let's just be calm. Let's get down to the last 20 or 30 laps. Let's get down to the last pit stop even, because, I mean, in my position, I have nothing to lose and I have everything to lose.
Are you concerned at all about finishing this race?
No, I'm not. I mean, I know how to finish the race, unless, of course, you're caught in something that you can't, that is unavoidable. But, you know, I was just talking to my dad, and he was like, you know, it's a good thing you weren't up top. And I drove down the bottom for the first, you know, 5 or 6 laps, and started getting a little tight, so I thought, you know what, I'll pop up high and see if I can just kind of get a more consistent run, because I was getting passed on the outside. Got up high, and that's kind of where all the chaos was. There's cars sliding all around and, you know, darting lanes and moving and, you know, just taking up the track and making it 3 wide and, you know, chopping in front of me. And so I'm like, you know what, I'm going to get down to the bottom again. I might push a little on the bottom, but it's going to be consistent. So in my long-winded answer, I feel like I can finish this race. It's just a matter of, you know, how many cats do you want to sacrifice in the process? How many lives do you have?
Danica Patrick going to go back out and finish this race and hopefully put one last IndyCar race under her belt.